Hey there, community leaders. Imagine a world where every community thrives, where each individual has a voice and every effort creates a lasting impact. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's time to turn that dream into reality. Welcome to the Global Community Engagement Forum, your gateway to becoming a true changemaker. Think about the power of one community leader. That's you. Now, imagine harnessing that power on a global scale, alongside like-minded individuals who are just as passionate and driven. The possibilities are endless. This forum isn't just another meeting. It's a mission to engage, empower, and elevate communities all around the world. You'll gain insights from global partners, learn from impactful training sessions, and discover innovative business development strategies. But more importantly, you'll be prepared to make a real difference. You'll be equipped with the tools, knowledge, and network to transform your community and inspire others to do the same. Picture yourself leading initiatives that tackle pressing issues, creating programs that uplift your neighbors, and driving sustainable growth in your area. This isn't just about making small changes, and it's about sparking a movement. Now you might be wondering, how do I get started? It's simple. Join the Global Community Engagement Forum. Connect with passionate leaders from all corners of the globe. Share your experiences, learn from others, and start building a brighter future. By participating, you're not just attending an event, you're becoming part of a global mission. A mission dedicated to making the world a better place, one community at a time. So what are you waiting for? The world needs leaders like you. Leaders who dare to dream big, act boldly, and inspire others. The Global Community Engagement Forum is your platform to do just that. Join us, and let's make a difference together. Because when communities thrive, the world thrives. Thank you for listening, community leaders. Dude, let's get out there and change the world. See you at the forum.
But one
Wow.
thing that
So
Maribams
once you are
and you,
providing
Jarvis,
for
and
the
Mike
family,
can
you have to
tell
protect the family.
and Barbara,
So
that
that is
once you
why
learn
life
human
insurance
rights,
comes in.
it's in your DNA. It goes
Because
through
the
your
difference between
bloodstream.
the
And once
95%
you
Americans and
learn
the Oh, this is Mike one too. I'm so sorry, man. Okay, we're here again. We want to welcome you here, the Community Engagement Global Mission. Today we actually went down a little bit at 1 o'clock here, and then we had to play the tape. You see, the tape played, and we have some thing turned into it. And we really want to apologize for those of us who were watching for 12 o'clock today due to some emergency. We could not actually come on live at 12. But thank God this morning, actually this afternoon, we are here and I might be getting on the road uh, to uh, to a 1 day, 2 day visit, and then I'll be coming back on Sunday. But this is a very interesting discussion on Liberia. So we actually will be discussing it briefly on the human rights based approach. And then on next Friday, we have, I think, 4 or 5 persons going to be, no, 3 persons going to be up here to discuss this very important topic today. And so I want to thank you for tuning in and again say you are most welcome to this wonderful day. And when we talk about community engagement, when we talk about uh, human rights based approach. Sometimes people want to know what it really means. When you look at the way we talk about human rights and the way we address human rights, the issues of human rights in the global world is sometimes different from maybe the next person. But at the community engagement level, we talk about rights and responsibility. We don't just talk about rights and then forget about the responsibility of the person who we are talking for. So today, as we looking at rights, looking at human rights as we talk about the base approach to development, I want us to take a very close look at Liberia. We say we focus on Liberia because of not only that the visit here uh, with the president yesterday, I mean 2 days ago, but looking at the entire topic when you talk about rights and responsibility. And sometimes people don't realize that we all have rights, but then forget to assume or to take responsibility of whatever problem might be going on in our community. And we only talk about rights. And so when we talk about the human right based approach to development, and then you look at where we are in Africa, in Liberia, to be precise, then we say probably maybe, you know, we are overlapping, not discussing the issues that development must come to the community and how do we approach the way we approach it also matters, and including or excluding some of the things that will not be necessary to discuss when it comes to the base approach. How do we terms or look at the world based approach to development? If you look at how people are being maybe going through some different difficult situation, why it is true that we got these companies, we got the resources, but people still live in poverty. So, what is the base approach? How do we talk about human rights in that context? So, when you talk about the base approach, the human rights based approach, then we talk about inclusion. How do we include uh, every citizen, whether from poor, rich, to be part of our discussion. So let's take, for instance, when we talk about maybe a company in our community or probably in a district, and that company have been serving there for maybe 2 3 years. Before that company came, there was an agreement, and the agreement probably, let's say the agreement says that every month or every year, the company gave probably maybe 10% of what they have to the community, especially maybe for youth development, scholarship for youth, maybe scholarship 10% within that, maybe we say district or county. So how can we approach that if we don't see or there's no effort? So the human right based approach in that terms would means that you and myself as people, human right, maybe civil society, engaging the stakeholders, people who are maybe we're talking about companies and different people that comes to Liberia. Now, when you look at the visit with these with what we're looking at, what was inside for Liberia, which we're going to be talking about next week, but we want to basically talk about the issues of the base approach to development, because many times Liberians and even Africans don't know. Like, thank God for Burkina guys, Burkina Faso president. He really looking down to the people. Now, so his focus is about the people. He focus about a nation. So that is how we look at human right based approach when it comes to going down to the people to include them in our discussions. So that approach is the most convenience one. Take for instance, we have about maybe 100 youth in the community or in the county, right? And we have a company that is employing maybe 200 persons. So he has to take 50 or 75% from the community. So how do we approach the company? How do we approach lobby with the lawmakers? How do the lawmakers who represent us actually go on behalf of our community and make sure that that particular spot, that particular agreement be fulfilled? So the approach is, let's look at the maybe in the community level there where we have the CSO, we have different organizations, we have community leaders. So the community leaders will approach, come together, discuss, have a town hall meeting with the chief and everybody, talk about what do we want in this community. Maybe we need a hand pump, okay, or maybe probably we need, you know, like we said, clean drinking water. We have no store. All the places are ready, not ready open. Nothing good going on there. But we have a company that have come to that community that are benefiting from the community, and where we have our gold mines, where we have the different minerals. It is in our community, so we can approach by being engaging our law, because we have to be included. That means in the discussion with our decision when it comes to how do we benefit from our community or for what we have from the company that is coming. How many persons will be employed? So everything is in the package of the whatever agreement that was signed. There will be nowhere in the world no person is going to sign a document where the people are not included. That means when it comes to their life improving and maybe building new schools, hospitals in that community or probably in the country. So the approach is simple. Everybody should be included. That is no option. So on the side, the human right based approach, we advocate for the rights of the people who are actually needed to be part of probably setting agreement, and they were not part of it. So we approach it in a way that it helps them. It helps the government. It helps the whatever companies, and then it brings development to our community. So as actors, the human right based approach, one of the main important things, everybody is inclusive in that in the discussion. So we look at it, if they are not included, then we have to advocate for their rights to be part of that particular maybe benefit. If well we see that the hand pumps that were initially discussed or part of the agreement is not being initiated, then of course we as advocate civil society leaders try to lobby, probably how can we start an engagement from the community level. We get to in fact, to the representative, and then the representative that represent our inner house. Then, of course, we also lobbied with different committees that are responsible for those things, probably in the community. Maybe we'll talk about different companies, and we're talking about development committee. We got different committee there in the house. So when we talk about the developmental part of our community, and we're approaching government in the way that we know as human rights actors, that is in the best interest of that community, of the nation. So in the case of Liberia, uh, Esther Mattel and all these great different companies that are doing well, that, they have signed long-term agreements. So looking at what really was in it for Liberians, and how can Liberians actually benefit from it. So, hello, yeah, I'm online. Who's that? Hello, yeah. So and so I'm on live. So it's I'm so sorry, man. So the thing is, we as key actors needed to understand that we have to we have to understand that this engagement uh should be should be something, and that all of us need to get involved in, because it's very important in our in the setting, or in any way that we as key actors, how can we get involved when we ourselves are not probably behaving like, well, we have the mentor in our hands. And sometimes, we think that by engaging our stakeholders or our communities is something that maybe we cannot do in our own strength, because as civil society leaders and organizations, we have this the mentality that you know we cannot go to do something that we would not be able to discuss. So if things are not really going the way they should go, and how can we justify it? How do we approach those issues as it relates to the real facts about what we want to do for people? So it's just about you know our own responsibility. So God will not come down to tell us to go. Okay, we got to understand that the right and responsibility we have, and then be able to go forward with everything that we are doing. Now, as key actors in our own country, in your own country, you can engage leaders who are probably maybe who are doing something that is not in the interest of the people. How do the people um, actually benefit? How do the people benefit when we ourselves don't realize that this is the responsibility of the civil society? We play our roles, but the community itself, the leaders, uh, the dwellers, people who are in those communities, people who are leaders for those communities, need to rise up and do whatever they have to do in order to change their community. Because I will tell you, the fact remains here that we all found ourselves into different groups, and sometimes if we are not mindful, we get involved into some of the things you know that we cannot see. And the fact remains that God will not come down to tell us about what we're supposed to do as the probably right person, or maybe the person involved, or for the people that uh, the people that we are talking about. And so uh, how can we talk about the issues that we have not even start to engage? So everything that we try to engage people concerning where we are, in our faith, where we are in our walk, in our walk and when we are in our work with the community. Because you see, the community is the beneficiary or are the beneficiary or should be the beneficiary. So in engaging, actually in engaging the people, that means in engaging the facts that we have now, engaging those people who are probably actors, who understands, that the community has the right, but then they are not giving the community well the benefit. So the community itself don't even know that they have the right. So where we fail, in other words, to engage the community, the approach, the way we approach it is in the way that not in a destructive way or something that is going to bring confusion. But again, that is the right. There is no option. If the community needed 5 hand pumps, and well, there was some delay after 5 years, and then something comes out, and you, as a human rights actors or civil rights organizations, you are working along with the community. So your responsibility, our responsibility, the leaders, the responsibility is to keep engaging each other, engage with the representative, engage with the companies. Probably some of the you have the right to walk into the company. I have the right that if I show my ID, I have the right to engage probably the relevant person in that company to know what are the things that belong to the community, whether it was given, why it is being delayed, and then you gather information that you can also use in order to go to engage probably your representative. You gather information for your representative to also engage people on the field, and then you put those information together after you do your need assessment and know that well there's something wrong, and then you try to make your report, and then now you must have all the facts. What am I saying? Probably it takes years, right? After 3 years or 2 years, those projects should have been accomplished in a year. So then you realize that, well, um, these projects have not been fulfilled. So let me try to to fulfill it, or how do we fulfill it? So the approach is very simple. Let's get together, let's discuss it, and let's engage. How to run to table meetings. You don't have to go straight to the relevant person who was maybe the stakeholder. You got to start discussing it from the community level, and then to your representative. Then you have committee, different committee in the house, okay? And then if he cannot bring a redress, then what you need to do now is you got to file a letter to the house committee, maybe in communication, or maybe it was the reason of telecommunication or electricity, or whatever committee that is responsible for the thing that we're talking about. Is that development, digging a well, whatever thing that you are doing in your community, you can engage your stakeholders, and that is the approach. As human rights actors, we will not just come and say okay and start to talk about insulting because we have the wrong information. We have not gotten the data, or we've not even gotten the report to know what a probably for one reason this thing were not done, but the money stayed there. Okay, so sometimes we go beyond and start to protest. I know that protest is good, but we got to do our own investigation, right? Let's take for instance, probably what is going on in Liberia. The telecommunication, they increase their the tariff or something on communication. The data does not increase from $1 to $2, right? Why did the data increase? So the communities all over Liberia are concerned. So what make them concerned is that this is what's happening. How can we address it as civil society leaders? Now, from your community level, um, the first thing you need to do is to engage with the relevant agency or work with a civil society leader or organization in your community that addresses these issues or working along with you. If you can first follow from first of all find it out from the company, right? And then maybe the company say you went to the one of the phone companies and meet with the maybe the director or executive director or whoever responsible, and then you discuss why tariff was increased, why our data increased, and then maybe he gave you the reason. You know, if it is true, gather that information, and then now the next person maybe you want to meet two other persons, so on a pew you can even appeal because of the you are representing the community as human rights actors. You can make an appeal that if there can be any appeal our people, they're living above this, they really need to access the internet, or they have problem with this because many of them don't have money, they will not be able to buy. So when you're discussing the human right based approach, you should be talking not for yourself, because you might have the money to buy it, but the next person might not have the money to buy it. So the approach should be inclusive. That means everybody in it, this disability, this person, that person, whether you have it or not, you are included into that package. So the fact means that as we talk about these issues, let us look at uh, the factors. Okay, what contribute to some of the things that happen to us. All of us have this problem when it comes to addressing issues that relates to human rights based approach to development. We cannot and will not discuss lengthily in some of the things that we want to discuss, because we cannot go forward with anything in our community except we understand rights and responsibilities. Because many times we don't understand rights. We want to take over, we want to be the head, and we are going forward with some of the things that we are doing here, but there are still challenges, right? So the question to all of us today is that no matter how many times you're communicating with one person on internet, right, and another person you're communicating on the internet, but they're communicating on one app called maybe WhatsApp or whatever, and that WhatsApp is only between you and that person, but they have 10 other person, because everybody have friends. You have about 50 friends or maybe 25 friends on your WhatsApp number. So nobody else know what is going on in the next person box. So what I'm trying to say is that when things happens, when it comes to data, where we can access the internet, while others are accessing the internet because they have money to buy. So all of us need to be included, despite our own maybe challenge when it comes to economic. So the approach should be the people, the people. So every time this human right based approach, we always falling short because we don't talk about the people. We don't talk right there. We just I just want something, right? We talk about ourselves. So forget about the real issue. So we can do it that way to reach more people. In other words, to help more people. How can we help them? Except we can reach them by phone. We can reach them by maybe by email, or we can reach them by whatever means. And so it's all about how do we how do we take it up? How do we manage the whatever thing we are doing? How do we manage it? How do we actually explore the entire situation if we are reaching somebody? So I'm going to conclude, but I want us to conclude on one or two things. Let's agree that we have probably an agreement that in this district we have 10 letters. Those letters has to be distributed to all the companies that are involved, the stakeholders, right, to a meeting. And who should take those letters? Well, we agree that somebody take it, and then we call the companies those stakeholders together. In that meeting, you must have representative from the people, representative from civil society leaders, government, whatever relevant person need to be in that. That is inclusive. That is the approach. There should be no time that in the human right based approach to development would leave the indigenous people out. That I the people that feed in the weight, that people that are going through the problem. We cannot leave them out. They have to be part of the discussion. So in other words, as we conclude today, I want us to focus on where we are in this whole thing called the human right based approach to development, because we cannot understand when one person is talking well on the other side and the next person is talking on the other side, and well, because of politics, because I don't belong to this party, so even if something is going right, I'm not going to tell the government thank you. So we look at the entire thing we're looking at yesterday, just to give you a headshot on the on what would benefit Liberia, if actually this particular discussion with the U.S. It will strengthen international relations. It's going to focus on economic boost. It's going to focus also on mutual partnership. Is also going to be international image and the global trail. It's gonna expose Liberia all that. That is one of the big thing, that is within what was in that meeting. So, but if you look at what benefits, okay, what is there for the people, what is there for, every time we speak here and we still give reference to Burkina Faso, we still give reference to other different countries that are trying to make people inclusive, that everybody feed the weight, everybody feed the enjoyment, everybody enjoy the equitable distribution of our resources. So in this approach, we cannot leave out the word being inclusive, whether you have disability, whether you are defect, whatever condition, the poorest person, everyone has a right. So when we're speaking of being approaching these issues, we look at the condition of maybe there's a problem with the company. The people are now certified. The houses are getting probably shaking, and why they are, you know, there's ventilating some of the things that are going on there. So the issues of life is just more than Jarvis talking about, well, rights and responsibility. Sometimes we have right, but then our responsibility to guide ourselves to do the right thing in order for us to do whatever God have called us for. It is not about issues of life. Sometimes we change the mentality we have, and we have to walk according to the word of God. But God have given us command. He said, "I'll bless you, and you should be a blessing." So you might have the money, you might have the influence, okay, to begin to reach other people, for other people to benefit. Coming up with the virtual conference in September, by invitation, we're going to be talking. This is going to be one of our key topics. We're going to be talking about and educating people. The whole thing about community engagement is for people to benefit and to learn about how to go about. It's not just about going to match. Sometimes we spoil, we just drive investors away sometimes, or probably we just make ourselves to look common because our people that are watching us, it may not be relevant. So our responsibility as civil society, we can engage government. Yes, we need to talk to government on one or two things that are very much important. But if we do not understand our rights and responsibility, we are here responsible, accountable for the action we will take, because we might be taking actions that worry us, that will not help us to probably to overcome. I might be taking action. The action that I take will not actually give me any reason. The action that I take will not help me to actually extend the information that I want to extend to you guys. So the way we engage people, the way there's some diplomacy. It's a way of approaching people. How do we go about approaching people before we can go to the town or call protests? There are a lot of things involved. It's not. That's why our civil society leaders, community leaders, don't put any party first. Put country first. Because if you put party first, that means maybe you love your party. So if anything that is against your party, you're not going to talk in the interest of the people. You'll always be talking about party. So we need to get from this. The immigrant-based approach is all of that. It's not about partiality. It's about straight. If I were a Baptist, Methodist, or probably maybe a Christian, and I see Muslim people, I want to come against them because I feel I'm not. No, it's about everybody should be inclusive. So we got in human rights actually got to be very careful about how we engage. So you got to understand. Well, I don't want to be part of this group because if I be part of this group, I'm going to be biased. I'm definitely going to be biased. So in the next 5 minutes, I want us to look at it as a season, a time that we can look at where we are in our work with the work we do and engaging people, and not just jumping on the street to protest or something that we're not even having an essence. The question for all of us as leaders, civil society leaders, is that have we considered how do we engage our stakeholder? Even if we engage them, have we been flexible, probably trying to be diplomatic, or just open, and then they intrude into us and try to close us up, and then we leave the people out of the discussion. How it been in many times in many organizations, many countries, people come in and then divide to rule you guys, and at the end of the day, you don't accomplish what you were talking about when it comes to engaging stakeholders. So we can engage stakeholders, but we can engage stakeholders with the right tools. What is the right tools? The right tools is getting the people involved, the principles, the strategies. And so I want to say, you're most welcome, and we want to thank God for giving us another time, and following us. It's good. We are so blessed. And, I want to come to where we are, what we want to do. We pray that God give us the strength and the grace that we'll be able to meet more people and encourage more people to understand the rights and responsibility at the community engagement level. We don't just talk about rights, we talk about responsibility, because many people today don't know that they are responsible for the action, for the choice that they take. I may make a choice, and the choice that I made determine where I go. And so I want to say, well, you're most welcome. The dedications of everything that we do, we must dedicate ourselves to our life, and whatever we do, we must be very careful about how we address issues, how we go about addressing those things that, well, will be harmful to us. Let us reach people that we think that could not be reached at the time. And so when we reach those people with all the ability that we have to understand, to comprehensively understand the right and responsibility of leadership and our role, how we play this role in order to change our society, not into distant future. We are to be developing something for ourselves and understanding the way out. It is so difficult to discuss these issues because people are shying away from it because, well, they don't want to take responsibility. Even your wife, your spouse, people, they don't want to take responsibility because it's very difficult to address issues that you're ignorant about. So in order for us to be in the know, we need to start discussing it, because if we engage in talking about the approach to development, then we know that everyone has to be inclusive. So everything we discuss, we shouldn't leave them out. That is the key components of the human rights-based approach. We got to discuss with the companies. We got to discuss with stakeholders. We got to bring everybody together, but not leaving those who are beneficiary out of the discussion, so that they can know that we are not just on the fence as representatives and people who are representing them to the table. So as we go about teaching, if you would really have the opportunity to handle one of the capital band book, oh my God, you are going to be a seasoned advocate. I'm not preaching the book, but I'm not counting yet, but I can see that you'll be a seasoned person. Okay. And I want you to understand today that, look, man, we can all do it together. This is not about Jarvis. and I just put my hands on all the time that I don't want to talk about issues that has nothing to do with the thing that I'm fighting to see happen in the nation. So God bless you. And, we join next week. Probably we're going to have a guest here to discuss Liberia. Our main focus will be on Liberia. We're going to be talking more about it this week, and we're going to be talking about it cross section of during our week. And I'll be posting up there. Don't forget that you are responsible to change your society, and don't allow anyone to take you off. The approach is simple. The people should be the center of what we discuss, and let's do it